Hi, everybody. I thought I made a big mistake here and forgot to put the email list, but I realized exactly where it is. If you look on the left-hand side, it actually says class email list here. That's where you're going to find it. So here you can just type in your email address. I'll type in my email address. It's liebermanb@sfusd edu. All right. So just know you could email me at any time if you really need to. Not a problem. Let me know if you have any problems with accessing the curriculum or any of that stuff, or your project or any of that. Let me know, and we can work it out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit turn in. And once I hit turn in, I could see other people's emails in the class. So for example, I can already see Josh and Karina's. All right. So why are we doing that? All right. Remember, the key thing is we're trying to make it so that you can work with other people. All right. I want you to work with other people so that you can have fun with these curriculums and these videos, and you can talk with people. Because remember, that's a big part of class. Is in class, I would all the time say turn and talk. So that's a big part. So that's why we're doing that. So get that email put in. If you need to pause this video for a second so you can put the email in, that's fine. But if not, we will be continuing on here to the next thing, which is the oral history video. Alrighty. Click the link in the presentation and you can get to the video. All right. Watch the video. There's 2 questions here. All right. 2 questions. All right. Answer the questions in your turn-in document. All right. You can answer them right here. How is history preserved in Africa? What does that mean? All right. And last but not least, here he's comparing writing history to orally sharing history. What arguments did he make for an oral history? You're going to write his arguments down below. I'll let you do that and play the video when you finish that up. Ready, go. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. And now you're going on to the next thing, which is the oral history reflection. All right. You're going to answer these questions in Google Classroom, but if you go for the AWW points, meaning you try to write 3 or more sentences, I want you to copy and paste what you wrote here. All right. What are you going to write for this oral history reflection? Let's go check it out. So if you go to Google Classroom, you go to classwork, you go to today, which is number 6. All right. You can scroll down and you'll see the oral history question. All right. The oral history question is this. What do you think of an oral history compared to a written history? Why don't we use an oral history today? Or how do we use an oral history today? What are things that we have today that show that we can have an oral history today? How can technology show that we do not have an oral history today? All right. So you're going to answer write your answer here. And when you finish writing your answer, all right, when you finish writing your answer, then you're going to comment on other people's answers. That's the game plan. You're going to comment on other people's answers. So for example, if let me give you a second to write things down. And then why don't you look at my example after that? Ready? Write things down. Go. Alrighty. So if I was going to write something like, today we kind of have an oral history with YouTube videos. Right. If I hit turn in here, then I should be able to see other classmates' answers. All right. So I can see that Josh went for the AWW, and I could reply to Josh, right? So Josh says, we don't have an oral history today because we have a writing system. I'm going to say, I agree, Josh. We also listen to things like news and podcasts, right? So your job is try to respond to somebody else's. All right. They'll see your response. All right. Josh will see that I responded. All right. Thanks, Josh, for being a good sport and letting me use you as an example. All righty. The next and the last thing that we're going to do here is, so you did the reflection. All right. That was this part. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to turn in this document. All right. Why? Because that's how you're going to get credit for today. And I want to make sure you get credit. So you can just go back here, right? You can go back into the class, go back to classwork, go back to this document, or actually you can just click up here, turn in right here. Or you can click here, you can get view assignment and turn in. They both work, all right? Just want to remind you to turn in your assignments. All right. The last thing is, as you notice, we finished up pretty quick. It's because I want to give you some time to work on your project. All right. So a couple quick things with that. Most of you are probably in the researching phase still. It's due tomorrow. So you got a solid, today to work on your research. What does that mean? That means that by tomorrow, you should be pretty close to an expert on your topic, right? You should be able to answer what is your topic, where was your topic found, who's involved, how is it important to today and the future, all those important questions. Then you could start working on your outline, all right? Let's say you finish your outline, then you would start working on your first paragraph. I already put that on Google Classroom, alrighty? So remember, all these things are on Google Classroom. Let me just show you where again, in case you forgot. If you go to classwork, right, you'll see there's something called History Magazine Project. You can see everything here. I also added the citation generator. So if you wanted to put some time in today to make sure you get all your citations, I put the video for how to do the citation generator from class. All right, over here, I've added the first paragraph. That's not due until March 24th. So you have another week for that. All right. And here you can see I've already put an example of an outline. Nicole from my last year, she did a pretty good job with her outline. So I put a little example. We'll talk about that in a second. Then after that, I've got the whole project information. We've got the outline here. That might be what you're working on today. You've got your research notes here. That's probably what you're going to work on today. Remember, you click on it and then you can see your work in here. Okay. And then other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all that you have to be working on, which it would be your research notes, your outline, or your first paragraph. Now you might want to look at Nicole's example for an outline. Let me explain the outline really quick. So if you'd like to pause the video and just work on your research, you totally can. I'm going to talk a little bit about the outline for the people that are ahead. If you're a lead editor, feel free to check in with your team. You should be able to see their email address now in that email form. Remember, to see all the emails, you can just go to classwork and then it says in class email list and you can see classmates' answers. So you can see everybody's email in class. Last but not least, we've got the outline. All right. So this is the outline and we're going to call this the History Magazine Project. All right. So key thing to think about with your essays, all right? It's very similar to the Christ Commands It essay in the sense that you're going to first have a very broad introduction, right? You're talking about the topic in a very broad sense. And slowly you're going to get more and more specific, and you're going to get pretty specific in your body paragraphs. You might have 3 body paragraphs. You might have 2 body paragraphs, all right? 2 or 3 body paragraphs. And then after that, in your conclusion paragraph, you're going to start out specific, and then you're going to get broader and broader and broader again. So here's a sample outline that I've included. What would that mean? Well, in the introduction, you start out broad, right? So you start off saying, what is it and why do people use it? You start out broad, but then you start to go deeper and deeper in your body paragraphs. You might want to start off saying like, how was it, or who developed it and how was it developed and what problem were they trying to solve, right? Then you might want to talk about the evolution of it over time. You could talk about how it's made. Then lastly, you can talk about the conclusion, right? Why is it important and how is the future of it in society important? Right? That's the key things to start thinking about. All right. The document that explains or that you're going to fill out in is this document. It's called your outline. So this is an example. If you want to look at an example, let's look at an example first. So here's Nicole's. Her project was all on Disneyland. Let me zoom it in so all of you out there could probably see it. So if you zoom in, you could see the way she did her outline. So in the intro paragraph, she said basic facts to help somebody understand what Disneyland is and how it provides education and entertainment. Then after that, in her body paragraph, she says she's going to talk about how Walt Disney came up with the idea, who he was before, some background information, how he was in World War II, and he thought of a magical kingdom. His amusement parks, right? Then in paragraph 2, she said that she was going to talk about um, how they built the part, how they found the space, right? She skipped the third paragraph. She said she's not going to have a third paragraph, and then in her last paragraph, she's going to talk about how it's important to the future, right, and all that good stuff. All right, so feel free to look at Nicole's example. You're going to be filling out this part, which says outline. And if you look at the outline doc, it looks a little bit like this. All right, you'll see that. Remember, you have to share this with your lead editor. All right, have you finished all your research? You can say yes. You can say if not, you can say no, I still need to do more research in this or that. You can still work on the outline. Here's a sample outline. Here's what you need to include, and here's what you're going to fill out. What's your topic? What are you going to include in your intro, in your body paragraphs, and in your conclusion? Once you finish that up, that's it for the day. All right. You can turn in your research notes if you need to, but don't worry too much about turning it in because I want to make sure you have access to edit it still. All right. I wish you all the best. Have a great days out there. Try to stay sane. I'll try to start posting some articles about how to work from home and how to still enjoy life while you're still have to be stuck inside. I miss you all a ton. I wish you all the best, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Have a great day, and I'm excited to build another one for tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a survey. Please fill out the survey, the exit survey. All right, the link's in the presentation. Don't forget the exit survey. It's the last thing to do. I just want to know how things are going at home and if there's any suggestions you might have. Have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow.